From undisclosed locations for reasons of security and insecurity, I present to you MnRTV Live Show. And tonight we're going to be having a special guest, the Honeybee, who will be exposing a global pedo satanic human trafficking network. Is there such a thing? Do the elites have such a satanic human trafficking network? Is it possible? Is there such things in the government? And is there a satanic side to it? Why does the Illuminati do child sacrifices and human trafficking? Well, we're going to find all this out tonight. But without further ado, here is my co-host right here, the madman from Montreal, Mario. Welcome to the MnRTV Live Show.
And it's great to be back. This is where I want to be. This is where everybody out there wants to be. It's right here, and right there. You people out there watching us closely, because that's the place to be. Right there, Robert?
That's right, exactly. And tonight, are you excited about getting our guest on?
Sure I am. I mean, this is great. This is awesome. You know what I mean? It's very, very awesome. Anyhow, I mean, we're going to be talking about so many things here. It's a little controversial, right there, Robert?
That's right, but we have to do the show because since we covered the Illuminati, we've never covered this side of it too much. I don't think we ever done it. Yeah, we've done Pizzagate, a show before, but this is even more deep into it. This show's been brought to you by the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force.
All right, so shall we come in? Shall we go forward, never backwards?
No, let's move forward with the show.
And we're going to do what we normally do. So this is me, this is Mario, right? Everybody out there should know me by now. I'm known as the Info Madman because I always get stuff that nobody else out there gets stuff. Oh, we're both doing that there, Robert. You and yourself and me.
I do more the news, and I do like all kinds of research into the crazy, into the wildest, craziest, and sometimes it goes to the vilest things that you could imagine. On Earth, like I told you this morning, which I'm going to be asking our guest tonight about certain things we're talking about this morning, which is absolutely horrendous. That would boggle your mind. Let's just hope it's a myth. But
anyhow, we're gonna get on switching on over, and I'm gonna be showing you what you need to see. It's better than seeing me all day long. Like, so I know some people want to see me all day long, but I don't think it's a great idea there, Robert. So here we go, our wonderful blog, the MnR Productions,
and don't
Mariolaur.
For the folks out there, the new folks, our guest will be on at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 40 minutes from now. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so here's our wonderful blog. It's the MnR Productions, mariolaur.blogspot.ca. And if you just go down, you see we started exactly 2006. And if you don't see this, just click refresh. This is all for the new people out there, if you don't know. And of course, if you want to cheer, there it is, Chitango. You can talk to us or get in contact with our, we'll ask the questions for our guests because, I'm sure there's going to be lots and lots of questions. But before we do any of that, we're going to be getting into the popular pictures of the week on the Conspiracy Talk on both Google Plus and on Facebook. All right, sure. Look at this.
Right here, Club Church, Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be yet transformed, the renewing of your minds, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. But I find the club looks like the church now.
But that's what they're trying to do there, Robert. They want to mix everything. They want to make everything look like the club. Just like that, it makes it more appreciable for people to want to go to church instead of preaching what need to be preached, which is the gospel. Why Christ, what was Christ all about, and what he's done for the people. He came, he died, crucified on the cross for the blood of the lamb, and then he rose.
Right. Yes.
It's very important. Well, all of Corinthians, but know the gospel. Anyhow, that's the difference. Oops. All right.
The next one
All
is
right.
right here between picture number 1 and picture number 2. It's basically the same thing, except the U.S. supports one, and the other one, the first one, the U.S. created, and the second one they support.
Because of the petroleum.
And because of the New World Order, the Illuminati, exactly. That's another way of looking at it.
And then we see all of these on CNN.
Yeah.
One of them, well, Trump likes these guys right here, Saudi Arabians.
Well, he has deals with them. He has business in Saudi Arabia.
Anyhow, we know all about these. We made so many shows about that. Anyhow, suivant next.
I Spy security breach reveals the CIA can break into iPhones and social media apps, secretly turn TV into microphone, kill someone by hacking a car. Well, the last one is bad, eh? But we knew about that. And they want to do it more and more because Microsoft wants to be installed into new cars.
Microsoft, BlackBerry, right?
Android.
Yeah, that too. They want to control everything. That's disgusting. All right, this one, the next one.
What it should look like, what we get. Yeah, how come it doesn't look like that in the sky?
It's dark. You noticed it? It's dark when it should look like.
Wait a minute. How come we don't see that from our skies, the first picture too?
Because, Robert, you know why? There's lots of lighting. That's why. So you don't see all the stars. But if you go to a place where there's no lighting, like in the countryside, you get to see that.
That makes sense.
That's what I was told in school. Suivant next.
So these guys on the moon took a picture to take their helmets off for this picture. Wrong. This photo is simulation training at the Kennedy Space Center, Florida. Yeah.
Makes you wonder what really happened in that summer
Of 69.
Yes.
Did they actually go to the moon? Or was it all propaganda? That's a whole story in itself, the moon hoax. I think we've done a show on that.
Yes, we have, but we always got to brush it up and bring it up.
Exactly. For sure.
All right. Suivant next. Look at this to do. Now, this a lot of here apparently I upset some people with this one, but anyhow, go ahead there, Robbie.
Defeat ISIS in 30 days, ban Muslims, change Obamacare, build a wall, investigate Hillary, replace the swamp, make no cuts to Medicare, no false salary, build KXL with American Steel, blame Obama, the media for making promises I can't keep. So only one of them has been done, I think, the last one, right?
And this one, replace the swamp with my friends.
Yeah, exactly. So
instead of draining the swamp.
Well, the thing is, he has his to-do list. He hasn't done these ones, but it's not to say he won't do it. So folks out there that like Trump and President Trump and see this, don't give up. Maybe it'll be done. Maybe it won't. But at the end, we will know what was done.
Robbie, all I wish is that he would investigate Hillary, and put her things just investigate.
Into her emails into her emails and into her business with John Podesta. What is that all about? Which brought on Pizzagate, which we'll be talking about later tonight. Yeah.
But anyhow, I was told there, Robert, that that Trump and Hillary and the Clintons, they're all Jesuits. So why would he investigate in Hillary? But what I always say is that we always gotta ask ourselves questions, and this is why I posted this up, and I got some flack from some people out there about this post. But Robert, out of Clinton or Hillary or Trump, I rather vote for Trump. I would have voted for Trump if I would be in the States. Just like now, if the elections were be held right now, I'd still vote for Trump because he's always better than Hillary. But it doesn't mean that Trump is the best. That makes sense there, Robert?
It does make sense, exactly. So
But you always gotta investigate
Question.
or question. You always
The
gotta question the government. Exactly like what you said there. Very important. They always gotta look at both sides of the quarter. Even if you voted for Trump, you still gotta ask these questions,
I
right?
agree. Yes, we do.
All
Okay.
right. We've all next.
What if I told you that the people behind the Illuminati are demon possessed as they practice witchcraft, black magic, blood sacrifice for money and power? Exactly. What would people say? The question people are nuts, especially black magic, blood sacrifices for money and power. And why did they do this? Who did they get the power and the money from? The devil, Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call them, and the satanic demons. That's where they get their power from. That's why they have to do sacrifices and all kinds of stuff. If they are the archons. So yes, what do you people think of that? About who the Illuminati are and what they do and the power where it comes from? It doesn't come from God, that's for sure.
Makes you wonder. But then
Yes.
again, anything that comes from the Satan isn't good there. It's all fake. Just like have all the stuff that we always keep reporting on. It's all fake with our governments and everybody out there. You know who they are. We
Yeah,
always
we
talk about them on this show, the Rothschilds and
Rockefeller
Rockefellers and Soros.
and
All
Henry.
right. Yeah, Henry.
Oh, Henry.
Kissinger. All right, so we've all and then this guy right here, this guy.
What shaking my F head when the irony is right behind you. And this is John McCain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's he doing? Honored to see Senator John McCain and thank him for the support and his principled stand against dictatorship. Rare in the age of real politics. Yeah, right.
That's McCain. That's McCain for you. All right. Suivant. Next. Last but not least, right here.
The Zika virus has been around for over 60 years and starts showing birth defects in babies only in Brazil. The same year, the mandatory TDAP vaccine came out for the pregnant women. But that's none of my business. He's Kermit the Frog is quite intelligent, I must say.
Yeah, he knows his stuff.
He does.
He's a good reptilian. Well, he's a reptile. Right?
The frog, exactly. He's one of the good guys, Kermit the Frog.
All right. So those are the pictures of the week. The conspiracy talk on both Google Plus and on Facebook. And this is speaking of Facebook, the conspiracy talk. It's right here. Just go down, and this is how, if you want to see our future shows, right here, you just click there and you'll see us live, or you'll see the past shows on our wonderful blog. All right. And we just keep on getting people all the time who just want to join and have a say.
Exactly, for sure.
Very, very enjoyable. Now let's see what's happening on. All right. Lots of stuff happening. Okay, so now we're gonna get to the news of the week. Obviously, that's what people out there wanna listen to, because they don't want to hear CNN, because CNN is, and folks.
Clinton News Network.
All right, this one, the globalists.
Globalists declare war. European Union boss threatens to help break up the United States.
Oops. Okay.
Okay, so let's see what this European Union boss. Jaw-dropping direct threat against the country. European Union boss Jean-Claude Juncker has issued a stunning threat against the very well-being of the country, threatening to help break the United States as revenge for President Trump supporting Brexit. Speaking of the EU Commission, Juncker effectively declared war against the US, openly admitted that he would push for both Ohio and Texas to split from the rest of the country unless Trump changes his tune and becomes more supportive of the globalist EU, which is the European Union. That's right. We are now seeing the head of the European Union openly admit that the globalist power structure plans to hurt the United States in response to measures that Donald Trump has taken to strike back against the world power elite, including the utter destruction of the TTP. I don't know.
Brexit isn't the end. I don't understand this, Robbie. I honestly don't understand.
Brexit isn't the end. A lot of people would like to think that way, but I don't think it's the end. I don't think it's the end of all of this. Not in a long shot.
Could it be a false flag?
Yeah, because it says he detests President Donald Trump. I don't know. I find things are very quiet right now going on. Something's bound to happen sooner or later. It's just very quiet now. Is it the quiet before the storm?
Good point there, Robert. You know, maybe there's a storm brewing somewhere, you know, that's coming and it's going to hit us very, very hard.
When it comes down to it, yeah.
When
it hits. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but they've been saying that you're going to build the metro like since I believe 86, since they completed the metro around here, the blue line. So who knows? These politicians are probably all doing it for votes. That's why they kept holding it off, but they have no money. They say they have no money. All right. Oh yeah, this one here, Robert. The next one, Soros.
Funded university in Hungary facing closure following parliament vote.
I don't get these people. They all like this Soros guy. He's like, you know,
yeah,
he's like kind of like a real. They like this guy.
Hungary has approved for a new law that could force a George Soros financially university of the country despite widespread protests against the bill in Budapest. The Central European University, founded by the U.S. billionaire investor in 1991, is the only international college in the country with no overseas affiliates. The ruling Fidesz party's new higher education bill would require institutions funded by foreign investment to also host students at a home nation campus. The bill also states that certain universities could be blocked from issuing foreign diplomats to Hungarian residents.
So you see what the real is up to. George Soros.
Yeah, he's kind of a rat. Yeah, for sure. The government says the law designed to address the administrative shortcomings of foreign universities, according to Reuters. Last week, Prime Minister Viktor Orban accused the CEO of violating regulations in awarding diplomas, which the college denies. Following Tuesday's government vote, the university will no longer be permitted to enroll new students from January 1st, 2018, unless CEU opens a new campus in the U.S. or an agreement is reached between the United States government, the state of New York, and Hungary's Orban government before the end of September. Well, there's a protest going on, right?
Yeah.
It's all funded by George Soros right there. The vice chairman of the Fidesz party, Szilárd Nemet, said in January that Soros and his NGOs ought to be swept out from Hungary because they are pushing global big capital and related political correctness into the country. So you have to know.
What more do we have to say about George Soros?
Yeah, well, there's a lot we can say about him. There's a lot we don't want to say about him.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we're not allowed to say about him because this is what will happen. You see that? That's why. Because Google has been recording your conversations and logging your history for future use. IntelliHub, how to stop Google from spying on you. Very interesting. It's no surprise that it's no surprise to most that we are being spied on regularly by many agencies in both the private and government sectors. What it's aggressive companies seeking to gain the latest and most intimate personal details
about you for your marketing purposes, or whether you were put on a watch list by the U.S. government. Being spied on is not fun and is obvious an invasion of one's privacy. But did you know that Google has been logging on your web browsing history, your YouTube search history, and may have even been recording your conversations? You can see for yourself by visiting Google's MnRTV page, which can be found here. To erase your data history, just go delete activity. By then, select all time from the drop-down list and click delete. It's that simple. You can control the recording settings in each category by clicking on the Activities Control tab, turning then switch to either on or off to pause or resume activity. If Google recorded you, you will see a record of it under Voices and Audio Activities. Google also tracks your location's history, so they must know where we go all the time, no?
Yeah, for sure, and they know what we're looking at, but not so much me there, Robert, because I use a start page and DuckDuckGo.
But still, they still know because you're using the Android phone. Like when during the weekdays when we go meet up with the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force to discuss the upcoming shows and everything, I'm sure they know our locations.
Yeah, it's true there, Robert. But you know, if you use alternatives and then you delete them, like the article said, you know, it should be okay. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? Oh yeah, the next one, chemtrails.
The good old trails right here. Elon
Who else talks about chemtrails but us? Yeah, go on there, Robert.
Exactly. A theory about chemtrails. It looks like Elon Musk hopped aboard this chemical conspiracy theory bandwagon on Saturday afternoon. His bizarre series of tweets asserting that chemicals are aliens, ways of telling humans the secret of teleportation, may come as little surprise to some people. After all, the SpaceX founder and CEO has been known to entertain esoteric theories from time to time. In 2016, the billionaire transportation magnate even proposed that we are living in a simulation. Yes, the simulation of the universe. The odds that one base reality is 1 billion, Musk told the audience at Code Conference in 2016. Despite Musk's history with dystopic theories about it, the latest assertion is most likely a joke. After all, he made it on April 1st. Technically breakthrough. Turns out chemtrails are actually a message from time-traveling aliens describing the secret of teleportation, reads Musk's first tweets in his series. And while it's not implausible, this simplistic explanation is not quite in character for a person who often writes technically detailed tweets about rocket engineering concerns. And here's his tweet on Twitter. Technology breakthrough. Turns out chemtrails are actually a message from time-traveling aliens describing the secret of teleportation. And it goes on, but I don't think so, that it's a secret code, because we can't read it. No one reads it. How can you tell? We see lines. We don't have technology.
Oh, I just hope it's not a April Fool's Day prank.
It probably is an April Fool's joke. And look at this checkered board right here. No?
Yeah, but you know something there, Robert? Every joke, there's always the truth there. So now I gotta flip on over this one. This one's making me a little bit dizzy. You know, that post was making me a little bit dizzy.
About with the Freemason floors right there, the checkers.
All right, now we're going to be talking about Fukushima,
Chernobyl, and the way ahead. Yes, we always talk about Fukushima almost on every show, and it must be told because it's continuing. On March 11, 2011, the Japanese coastal trembled for nearly 6 minutes as a result of a magnitude 9 earthquake. The earthquake was located approximately 25 miles offshore and 15 miles beneath the ocean's surface. This type of event is common within the region, as the Pacific Ocean has long been known for frequent seismic activity, volcanic eruptions, and rogue tsunamis. So many, in fact, that the region was named the Ring of Fire. This ring encompasses deep water trenches, volcanic arcs, and significant plate activity. About 90% of the world's earthquakes happen here, most of which are considered major occurrences. The problem with the earthquakes mentioned above is the significant series of tsunamis waves it triggered that tragically killed 15,891 people, according to the Japan's National Police Agency. The story unfortunately does not get better. The tsunamis washed over specifically built seawalls designed to withstand significant tidal surges. The tsunamis toppled buildings, destroyed infrastructure, and mostly important, devastated the cooling systems within a safety range. Once these cooling systems were overwhelmed by the tsunamis, 3 of the reactors reached a level 7 meltdown criteria as outlined by the International Nuclear Event Scale. Just in case you're wondering what that means the level 7 is the highest and most damaging type of nuclear event. It is characterized by major release of radioactive materials and widespread health and environmental effects that require planned and extended countermeasures. To date, there have been only 2 such events, Fukushima and the Chernobyl disaster. And let's hope that nothing else happens.
Hold on, Rob, you don't need to read the rest because there's a lot to this, but the only reason why I did put this on is because people out there, we tend to forget, right? We tend to forget what really is happening. Wait, where is it? I think here it says somewhere that it's still leaking. It's still leaking. Is it above here? Do you see it somewhere? I know I've seen it before.
Okay, no, I don't see it.
It's somewhere around here.
No, no, I don't see it. Okay, there it is. TEPCO has not been able to successfully seal the 3 damaged reactors nor stop the leaking radioactive material. This is in combination with the plant's proximity to the Pacific Ocean, makes Fukushima a global problem that requires global support. I agree it does.
And how come Trump isn't talking about this?
No, he's not.
How come nobody is talking about this? How come? If this is happening, makes you wonder what's really happening out there. That's the reason why I put all that. You know, it's always good to remember about Fukushima. Oh, what's this show like without if we don't talk about CERN?
And the Hadron Collider, CERN, right here. Ships chief Russian scientist to study beauty quarks at CERN. Because look at that machine, incredible. Why do they call this like our scientific part of the news? Why do they call bottom quarks beauty quark? Where has antimatter gone? Why do physicists want to find outside the standard model? And why is that? They want to find this out because Andrei Goldston, head of the SHIP, Search for Hidden Particles and Project at the European Organization for Nuclear Research, CERN, Director, Head of Research Center for Infrastructure and Corporation, Mega Sciences at the National University of Science and Technology, Professor with the High Energy Physics Group at the Imperial London College, discussed this and other issues. Your lecture at the London-based Imperial London College and simultaneously do research at CERN, where you are a member of 2 large collaborations, SHIP and the Large Hadron Collider, Beauty Experience LHCb. What is your job at Russia's NUST MISIS?
MISIS.
It's almost like ice, yeah, mices. Yeah, exactly. The Large Hadron Collider features huge pieces of equipment whose creation, operation, and maintenance requires the efforts of many engineers, CERN employees, and those from national universities in various countries team up with industrial firms to conduct research and build parts for this equipment. Yeah, they do. Because they want to see what happened before the Big Bang. They want to create they want to see what antimatter is, and they want to open up dimensions to other dimensions and see what comes out of it. And yeah, we're not going to read this whole article, obviously, this whole interview.
Makes you wonder what they found.
Oh, I'm sure what they found they can't say.
A lot of real things are going to happen when they get this open. Maybe they did already get it open. That's why we're experiencing a lot of real things like paranormal. I mean, there was always paranormal, but throughout paranormal is happening.
Exactly. Does this mean antimatter does exist and does not exist? That's what they're trying to answer, which I'm sure they know already, and they're probably getting their information from outside extraterrestrial information. Because don't forget what they say. They're like 50 to 100 years advanced. They can't tell us.
Or maybe now's not the right time to say what they know. Hold on there, Robbie. Let me just squeeze this a little bit bigger so you don't strain your eyes, and nobody out there strains their eyes. All right, the next one.
Swedish company implants microchips in employees. About 150 employees have thus far had microchips implanted in their hands. Yeah,
there it is. That pretty looks pretty disgusting there, Robbie. You know, it's like, why would anybody want to have technology implanted on them? This evil, corruptible technology that is just not perfect and will never be perfect.
By 2020, I think they want to put the internet in us, which I'll never agree to. About 150 employees, the Swedish technology firm Epicenter, agreed to have my microchip inserted in their hands, the company said. The RFID, or radio frequency ID chip, is about the size of a grain of rice and will allow workers at the company to open doors automatically and use electronic devices more efficiently. The chip is implanted in an employee's hand. You can do airline fares with it. You can also go to your local gym. So it basically replaces a lot of things you have other communications devices for, whether it be credit cards or keys or things like that. It's an implant in the hands that enables them to digitalize professional information and communicate with devices, both personal and within Epicenter. Once chipped with the technology, members can interact with the building with a simple swipe of the hand. Chips can be programmed to hold contact information and talk to smartphone apps. It can also count bathroom breaks, identify an employee's location, and track cafeteria's purchase locations, leading to an invasion of privacy incidents and data collections. Yeah, so the probably will have to get a job. They'll tell us, get this chip or else you can't work here.
Never mind that, Robert. We can't even enter the workplace.
Yeah, I know. If you don't have this chip, that's what it's going to be.
What is it coming to, you know? Just because we have to be part of the grid, the network.
Yeah, exactly.
They want us to be part of. Who would get this? Anybody out there?
No, I wouldn't get it.
Neither would I.
No, not at all.
It's bad enough with all this technology like Google and Facebook
and
always
Twitter.
Spying on you. Yeah. Hold on now. Oh, it's that time of day where Trish is buttoning up and getting ready to come to the show. That's why we're talking about UFOs.
And this is on CTV News, our local news. Bright lights, light-fingered aliens, all part of annual reports on UFO sightings. And look, there's a sketch of a UFO.
Could it be sun that's letting these things in more frequently?
But this diagram was made in 1967. As I can see. Okay. Bright lights, airplane, near misses, and light-fingered UFOs, light-fingered aliens with a penchant for cool shades are all part of the annual report on UFO sightings in Canada. The 2016 Canada UFO survey produced by Winnipeg-based ufology research was released this week. In total, there were 1,131 sightings of unidentified flying objects reported across Canada. In a first for the 28 years the study has been conducted, only 4% of the sightings could not be explained. Study Christopher Wachowski and the record low rating is likely the result of more careful scrutiny of raw report information available. Summer is the big time of the year for UFO sightings, and there were simple lights that people saw in the sky. The province with the largest population had the most reports, So Quebec has led with the country with 38.5% of the sightings, and that's where we are in. While Ontario has 26% and British Columbia has 17%. The most popular shape in UFOs in 2016 is a simple point source light, 57%. Other shapes report with triangle, 4%, ball, 9%, cigar, the cigar, 3%, and fireball, 5%. The classic flying saucer is only reported 48 times. That is amazing piece of information right there. And there it talks about PEI, who reported a thin 6-foot tall, long-fingered white alien in a black suit spoke to him in his bedroom before leaving by walking through a wall. A man in Landry, Quebec.
Lanaudière.
I don't know how to say it. Lanaudière. Lanaudière said he was transported in a field of plants and plunged into a bathtub where he was surrounded by 3 green, big-eyed humanoid creatures who communicated with him telepathically. No, not all close encounters are so dramatic. However, one person said in Ontario, reported that an alien stole his sunglasses and belt. When someone from Rimouski, Quebec, filed a report which read simply, "They contacted me." I don't know if MUFON has anything to do with this.
I think, Robert, we should go visit this gentleman or get him on the show and he can talk about his experience with the humanoid creature.
Yeah, but you have to find out where he is from. We'd have to do deep research probably. I don't know if it's out there that simple.
Or maybe he's just watching the show and he realizes, that he's been spoken about. So, no, Parley, you can make your own, you can make your own telescope with 2 magnifying glasses. And I made it when I was younger. And all you need is one magnifying glass, the other magnifying glass, and a telescope. 2 tubes together, in and out, and you got yourself a telescope that cost nothing to make. Because I was into the when I was younger, a good 30 years ago. All right. Oh, 3 years. She's
coming on soon.
Yes, she is. She's just getting ready. Are you ready to have Trish on the rubber?
Yeah, I'm ready for her to come on. And when we come back from our break, we're going to have the Honeybee talking about a satanic global network, human trafficking network, when she comes back on, our guest.
All right. So here she is. Don't go anywhere, everybody. Stay right here because it's going to get a very interesting show right there.
That's right. So don't go anywhere, folks. The best is yet to come. All right.
Here she is. Here's Trish.
The story of a woman named Kendall who tells a story of private planes, black tie parties, elite sporting events, and more. She claims she was sold by her parents at birth to a powerful international sex trafficker, and says she was beaten, tortured, and forced to do unimaginable things. She goes into detail in the interview, much of which is too horrifying to mention here. Her story corroborates with the testimony of many others, and the information that's been shared above. The episode also features Drive, Phil's own private investigation and testimony from an LAPD officer, all of which also confirms Kendall's story. Why are WE writing about this, and why is it significant? Perhaps a full 2/3 of the global financial elite, who are well respected in the public eye, are involved in this type of thing. Abuse, satanic ritual, murder, and more all come from these activities. The Vatican has also been implicated in this type of activity on many occasions. Ask yourself, if these are the people who control major corporations and banks, and who dictate government policy, how can we call them our leaders? Our modern-day political world is a facade meant to impress the masses. What goes on behind closed doors is never spoken about. These are some very powerful people who remain protected because they are directly involved with making our laws, creating our money, starting wars, controlling entertainment, and much more. This can be added to the long and growing list of topics that used to be considered a conspiracy theory. As far as a response to all of this, the only one seems to be that mainstream media debunked it. This was the claim of John Podesta, who was implicated in Pizzagate, in a recent interview.
All right. Thank you, Trish. And of course, all these links I've posted on here will appear underneath in the description once the show is done. And, you know, hopefully.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna be quite a big topic. I think Paul is asking a question in the chat room because we have a few minutes to spare before we get our guest on.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing you could watch very far. Obviously, the bigger the tube is, the better it is. But I mean, if you really want to spend money, if you have lots of pocket change, you could just gather it all together and go and purchase yourself one. I mean, or you could even look it up, buy a used one. I don't know if that would be any good. I wonder if you can buy one that's like a cheaper price, you know? So
Exactly. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, but with those telescopes, can you see aliens or anything like that?
you know what, Robert? When I was younger, I've noticed one thing. I wasn't able. Yeah, Kijiji. I wasn't able. That's back then. There wasn't that many sightings like there's sightings today. You know. You know
Right.
what? You could have seen very far. I mean, I almost feel like buying small lenses and making my own telescope. You know.
Yeah, well, why not? You know, but one time we did put sunglasses on. We made like glasses and everything. You remember? And we Ed Grimsley. We were trying to make that from coast to coast. I think he died. God rest his soul. But we tried to look to see if we could see alien ships in the sky, like sort of a Star Wars. And unfortunately, it did not work. But what can I say? You know, at least we tried. No, maybe we probably did it wrong. Maybe we should try it again. But I don't know.
Yeah, but then again, you could see. I think it's called red vision. It was the red vision. I forget what it's called. There's a infrared. I think it was. That's it. Infrared vision. But now you could download apps and you can see. And all that did was to see the difference. If it's blue, it means it's cold-blooded, and if it's red, it means it's hot-blooded. You know, and you could see the difference. But what Ed Grindley did was he made night vision goggles, and that's different, totally different. You know that you need like some kind of lighting that lights the dark so that you can see in the dark. That's the difference.
Oh, speaking of the time, I think it's time that we get the Honeybee on our show. Are you ready, Mario, to get her on?
I'm ever ready. I'm very ready.
Okay, let's
I'm
call
excited to do deals. Let's do deals. Let's call a roll. Definitely.
Yes, I could hear you now.
Okay, that was because of my my headphones. So.
Okay. Well, it's all good. Welcome to the MnRTV Live Show, and it's an honor to have you on our show tonight.
Absolutely, it's an honor to be with you tonight as well. So thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. No, you could tell our audience, how did you start this? Did you start like the way Mario and myself we did? We were like studying into the Illuminati, aliens, and it led to Pizzagate right now. And how did you begin all of this? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Sure. Actually, I did start with the aliens and Illuminati a long time ago. I've been really doing this kind of research since I was in high school. That was a lot of years ago. But you know, my interest in the Illuminati, it grew into looking into satanic ritual abuse. You know, I was really into demonology and the satanic agenda in the television and the movies and commercials. Just this whole new way that, you know, the corporate, the media, even the news, just this darkness that had come upon us. So I really wanted to know what was going on with that. And I stumbled upon a few cases of satanic ritual abuse, like the McMartin case, the Hampstead children,
Yes.
you know, and then we started seeing these huge, you know, Interpol, the sex trafficking with all the kids and the child pornography. And then Pizzagate happened, and I was very intrigued by that whole thing with the WikiLeaks and everyone's interpretation of that.
Is this all that you do your research on? Is all dedicated to human trafficking and stuff like this, or do you do other types of research? Because I've been researching it, and it could get quite heavy on the mind.
Yes, you know, right now for the last 2 months, it's been basically towards Pedogate, which is the, you know, the whole of child abuse within our government, how it's covered up, child trafficking, and how I really feel that the elite is responsible for a lot of the corruption that goes on, you know, concerning child trafficking and abuse. My particular research right now is I think it's so popular is because I actually take, you know, court documents, police cases. I go through, you know, some of the mainstream media for news articles, and I point out that government officials, military personnel, police officers, you know, mental health professionals, they're the ones getting arrested for, you know, child pornography, raping children. And then I see these connections to the elite and these, you know, these big art foundations where they put money into Save the Children and the Edwin Gould Foundation and these child protection agencies. But that's where all the corruption is happening. And that's where a lot of the child trafficking is happening in Haiti, you know, with Laura Silsby. And it's fascinating to me, this level of corruption that's happening. And it's just kind of coming out now in a larger format. I think before, you know, child trafficking, child abuse, satanic ritual abuse, it was kind of like not talked about, but now everybody's talking about it. So that's kind of why I'm sticking with it, because it's a very hot topic, and it's really important. I'm a child advocate, and I feel it's probably the most important thing we can focus on right now.
Right. Yes, like today, I just ordered. Well, 2 weeks ago, I ordered a book. I just got it today. It's called Transformation of America by Kathy O'Brien. Are you familiar with this book?
I am familiar with Kathy O'Brien. She is a pioneer in getting the word out about this exact thing, especially with the MK Ultra.
Yes.
And all the mind control tactics that they use.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. So I didn't start reading the book. I just got it now, and I'm probably gonna be reading it tomorrow morning before going to work. I have a question for you. How do you look up this kind of stuff like child pornography, pedophilia, without incriminating yourself? I mean, this must be hard, you know. I mean, it's very dangerous work. I mean, it's like a catch-22, you know. I mean, if you report it, you could get yourself in trouble. Is there a trick to it, or being careful, or how do you go about it?
Right now, you know, the child porn that I have stumbled across, you know, it's either by accident. You know, I don't go looking for child porn, and now that I have such a good subscriber base, a lot of my subs point me in the right direction, and I am very careful. I don't save any material. I see and I report directly to the authorities, and then I wash my hands of it. You know, in the beginning, I had been dealing with a website called VidMe, where I found child pornography, and I was really upset because it kept on existing. It didn't go away for like a month. So I really kept tabs on it. And then when I spoke with the police, he's like, you have to be really careful, because even if you have a link saved in an email or a picture that you want to put somewhere, you can incriminate yourself. So my advice is to, don't go looking for child pornography.
Right.
Just
no way.
do your thing. You know what I mean? Personally, a lot of my investigation is on convictions, these child pedophile advocacy groups that are pushing the agenda to normalize pedophilia in this country, and that's very dangerous to me. You know, the LGBT community has really come a long way. Our culture, accepting of different races, being a country, a melting pot, has come a long way. The pedophile community is trying to insert themselves into this. So, you know, for me to be looking for child pornography, it's not something I'm actively doing. I'm doing a lot of peripheral investigation around the topic, but as for the reporting, it's being shown to me by my subscribers, and we're all working together as a team to get profiles shut down, to get pictures taken down. I just got a website taken down called tribes.net.
Yes. I want to ask you about it because it seems like it's down, that website, because I was watching one of your videos, and before this, hopefully it won't happen. So are you able to repeat what you just said, if you could remember, because we lost about a minute and a half of what you said about the tribal.net.
Sure. Is it all set? Are you able to hear me and everything's cool?
Yeah, Mario, can you hear us?
Yes,
Mario.
yes, I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Honeybee.
Okay. So, yes, I was able to get tribes.net, which is a sadistic pedophile torture, you know, talking about cutting up children, burning children, having sex with children until they pass away, which is really, really bad stuff. And I reported it to the FBI, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and I had a lot of other people on board with that because they saw the video. So after about a day, the website was taken down, and I was just so confused because we're all having our videos taken down. We're having our accounts banned. I had a few YouTube videos taken down, and it's just like, why did this website get to stay up for so long? You know, there's a real disconnect here with what these, you know, companies, the government, what they're paying attention to. They're worrying about censoring everything we're doing, but yet these disgusting websites are still able to stay up.
But like in your video, like I saw that video about torture and all of that. Can this actually exist, or is this just a joke? I mean, I know it has to exist, but it's so insane. It's like mind-boggling. It's like, how, why, who? You would think it's just like one person out of a million that's like a psychotic, but it seems like it's a whole bunch of network people that do these things. What, how, why?
Exactly. And you know, it's funny because if I hadn't done any of the research that I've done over the past year, and then I saw tribes.net, I probably would think that it was fake. But
is it illegal to go? Was it illegal to go on that site?
Probably the links. There were some child pornography pictures.
Okay.
Inappropriate exploitation of children. So yes, it would be, if you were posting pictures and sharing them, yes, that would be illegal activity. I went to the site and I looked on a profile and looked at some profile pictures.
Yeah.
And those were exploitation of children. So I didn't go into videos or anything like that. Yeah. You know, just what I saw alone was enough to report it. And then I leave it up to the authorities to take care of it. The thing is, if I didn't know what I know now and I saw it, I wouldn't believe it. I really wouldn't. But you look at people like that guy, Richard Keenan. I mean, he just admitted to raping a 4-year-old for 5 years. That kind of stuff in my mind, like, okay, yeah, this guy was a mayor of a town who just admitted to raping a 4-year-old. Like, this stuff is really happening. And it's not just these little websites with these creeps. It's people that are making our laws and running our government and working in Hollywood and, you know, in charge of stuff. Those are the people that are getting convicted right now. And that's where the media is lacking in coverage. They're not covering these big stories.
Well, because they're probably not allowed to. I was reading this morning, and you probably heard about it too, about human dolls. Have you heard about that?
Yes, the sex dolls and the sex children dolls. Yes.
I read it this morning. I was like shaking. I had to stop reading it. Please tell me it's a myth. Please tell me it's not true. I hope it's not. I hope it's just some kind of sick joke. Is it true?
It's true, and there's a lot of controversy right now about. I read an article that was questioning: is it illegal for a person to purchase a child sex toy?
I think so.
To fornicate with.
Oh.
And you know, in this country, I'm not sure if that's gonna fly, but it's definitely gonna fly in other countries, and people are gonna get what they want underground. They're gonna get what they want. From other countries. It's happening. It's already happening. It's not like a what if. It's already happening. If it's going to get covered in the news is what you got to worry about. There's just in the technology with the whole transhuman. I know you probably looked into transhumanism.
Yes, I did.
I was just listening to Richie from Boston because I'm from around the same area. I love listening to him talk because I hear the accent of my family, But he was talking about, transhumanism and Elon Musk, inserting computers into our neural pathways so we become one with the computers. I mean, there's just so much perversion of humanity. It's on a biblical level, and it's extremely frightening. And people don't want to believe it. I can understand why people are calling me and my other research friends kooks and wackos, because it's just so fantastical. You know what I mean?
But because the thing is, when I read about those dolls, it's like, this must be from the deep web, a story from the deep web. This must be insane. But like they cut the hands, the legs, and the vocal cords, and I think they do something to the eyes. Like, why these people can't live for long?
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
It's mind blowing. I mean, this is purely satanic. I mean, even in my worst nightmare, I wouldn't have been able to think of these things. Not at all.
Right. Have you watched the Hampstead, the Hampstead kids and what they said to the police officer?
No, I haven't. I haven't read that. I've watched a bit of it, of other types of stuff about Comet Ping Pong Pizza and all that stuff, and it's just mind-boggling. But is it you that made the video about the Hampstead kids?
Actually, I believe someone else made the video about it. I do talk about it quite often. I may revisit it. It's kind of where I started really getting into the ritual sacrifice and torture of children. But these two children, they claimed that their father was running this child satanic ritual, ring at their school, and the teachers were all involved. And what they would do is they would have sex with the children, the special children. They would sacrifice babies. They would make the kids sacrifice the babies and drink their blood and eat their flesh. And they were saying that McDonald's was involved and that all of these, places were in on it. And they had these, really elaborate rituals where they would wear baby skulls and dance around, and they had crazy satanic tattoos. And it was just a crazy, crazy story to think that some 7 and 8 year old kids could just make it up or be coerced to say it. It's not, I can't believe that it's not true. It's just so crazy that it has to be true.
I have a question here. Why do upper level elites look at and do CP, but only lower level pedos get busted? Don't the elites want everyone to be involved in this since they are evil?
So my personal opinion, and I haven't really delved into this yet, so you're going to kind of be the first one to hear my theory about this.
Right.
So
thank you.
I believe that the elites on some level use child pornography and child sex abuse as blackmail. They get people to show their allegiance, but I do believe that they enjoy it. I also believe that the satanic part of this is mainly to make people afraid. They want people to be terrified so they can hold on to power, because they know that people are starting to get smart. So the best way to keep people in line is to make them believe that you are all powerful and have magical satanic powers and the power of the devil and can do all these crazy things. So I think a lot of this satanic ritual abuse is providing fear. It's fear in the children, the victims. It's fear for people that discover the information. It's fear for even, being programmed by the television. You look at Disney, they've got the all-seeing eye and the triangle, and everything's Illuminati now in kids shows.
Right.
It's insane. And they've got all the, like Kanye and all these musicians doing the all-seeing eye, the 666 finger. That's a tactic to make people afraid of information that they themselves have created. They started this whole satanic ritual abuse thing. So I think it's really a plan to keep people in line and to keep us afraid of them. Let me just tell you, they are not powerful and magical people. They are weak slaves, and they look to an entity that is pure evil. They will never succeed. My heart is in Jesus Christ, and he's in my heart, and I have power over evil. And if, you know what I mean, if I just stay with that, I know that, I'll be okay. But a lot of people are lost, and they don't understand what's at stake here. They succumb to the fear, or they just shut off altogether and don't want to know anything about it, which is actually, they become part of the problem in that sense.
I have a question that you could probably answer. Like 20, 30 years ago, homosexuality was like hidden and everything. And now what happened is now it's sort of like, that's okay. It's more out in the open, and transgender. And now the next thing they say they want to legalize is pedophilia. Is this true? I hope it's not.
It depends on who they is. I feel that the pedophile advocacy groups
would want that.
Are definitely pushing for an acceptance into the LGBT community. Let's be honest here. LGBT and pedophilia and whatever else, it's been around since the dawn of time. It's not like a new thing.
Right.
What's new is that it's the age of technology. People are able to communicate and express themselves creatively. It's more glamorized. Do you know what I'm saying? And people want to stand up for their rights to, be able to get married. They want to express themselves through art, through media. It's just a different world now. The fact is, the child is sacred. The child cannot consent to sex. Kids want to play in the street. They want to eat bugs. They want to ride their bikes in dangerous places. You know what I mean? They're not able to make decisions such as a mature sexual relationship with an older person. That cannot happen. It cannot be made legal. I think it's extremely dangerous. I have lots of gay and lesbian friends, the closest people in my life. I respect adults that want to make their own decisions, but there's no reason that a child needs to be involved in a sexual relationship. And that's the hot button for me. That I do not consent to that at all.
So you don't think society is going to want to, like the Illuminati, you don't think they're gonna allow this to be legal? Because I think that there'd be a total breakdown of society if they even tried to.
I think that the whole point is to allow it to happen. It's one of those perversions. They want to break the human spirit. And honestly, think about it. We're fighting so hard to keep this as an illegal thing to protect our children. Imagine if 15, 20 years from now, pedophilia is legal, and then all of the kids shows have sexual scenes with older men and women trying to have sex with children on the Disney Channel. Is that what we want to have in our life?
No, I don't think I want to even be in a world like that exists. I mean, I find it sick as it is now, but this can't come true. But I've read from Illuminati researchers that said about 6 years ago that's what they're working on towards legalizing next.
Yeah, I believe it. It's a normalization process where it's constantly put in our face. And a lot of these arrests and a lot of this, there's a lot of disinformation about the whole pedophilia thing too. I mean, the fake news, I'm not saying independent research is fake news. There's a layer of disinformation to dissuade anybody that's interested in independent research. So this pedophilia hysteria is almost in a way an introduction to people that don't understand pedophilia. So at some point they might be able to accept it.
God, that's horrible. Have you been, I think I saw a video that you were in Washington at the protest.
Yes, I did. I attended the DC march.
Yes.
it was a really great experience for me. I know a lot of people, you know, were against it. A few people that went, you know, they had some issues with dealing with different personalities or different beliefs. For me, I went in there with a positive attitude. I talked to a lot of subscribers, a lot of people that are doing the same thing that I'm doing, a lot of researchers. I was able to speak, and it was great. I had some great conversations. I was able to help some people. We passed out flyers. I mean, I thought it was a fantastic effort to get the word out there. We talked to a lot of passerbys that wanted to know what was going on. So I feel like we did the best we could with what we had. I did not set up the march, but I was invited to go. And of course, hell yeah, I'm going to go to the march. It worked out for me to go. So I'm glad they did it, and I'm glad that I went.
Yeah, I mean, I know someone from Montreal that went there. You know, and that's where I'm from, Montreal, and they went there, and they said it was a great thing. Have you ever been in Comet Ping Pong?
No,
no,
I don't feel comfortable actually going there because I feel a lot of the researchers that do Comet Ping Pong or Pedogate, I think that they know like who we are. I know James Alefantis has contacted someone that I talked to. So I'm a little weary of going over there and inviting myself to be harassed. I did receive some hateful emails from people with like pizza related names. So I tread lightly when it comes to that stuff. I'm not very confrontational in that sense. I will look up all the information on the internet though, and you can't hide. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Okay. Have you ever been on the dark web to research this stuff?
No, I have not. And I had a few friends that helped me find some information here and there. I think the closest I've gotten to seeing anything that was on the dark web would be the World Corp video of the child in the bathtub.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you've seen it. There's a series of videos where there's a child who's blatantly being abused in a bathtub. And it's very blurry, and the child is screaming and crying and fighting with this man who's locked him in this little bathtub. And there's music blaring, and there's like purple and blue light flashing.
Yeah, and he keeps saying, "You think you're hot stuff" or whatever, right?
Yes, exactly.
But isn't that somebody famous? That's the video. Yeah. Like I saw that about I don't know when it came out, two months ago, and I couldn't sleep that night. But isn't that somebody famous?
Awful.
Isn't that somebody famous?
Well, some people think that it's John Podesta, and because his voice is so similar.
Yes.
I don't really subscribe to anything unless there's hard facts that I can actually see for myself. There's no way to prove that guy is John Podesta, so I don't know who it is. But I do know that there is a child in the video who's being abused, and I think it's very important that he's found and rescued.
Do they?
You know what I mean?
Do they know who this child is? Have they found him? Have they anything? I mean, I couldn't even listen to it. I mean, I was crying. I couldn't listen to this. Just thinking of it.
I cried too. It was a very sad time for me to have listened to something so awful. That, like I said, that's the closest I've gone to something that may be on the dark web. So I was talking to a girl that I met on Twitter, and she's been private messaging me, and I was telling her I want to set up a VPN. I'd like to try doing a little research on the dark web, and she said, tread quietly, lightly, do not comment, do not do anything to let someone who has bajillion time more experience than you in hacking skills, superior hacking skills. So if you are going to go onto the dark web, you have to be extremely careful, and you can't unsee the atrocities that are on there. There is child snuff films. There are very serious abusive images, pictures, and videos that you cannot unsee, and it will haunt you for the rest of your life. So I'm being very cautious. I'm not just jumping into the dark web. I'm doing a lot of research on it to understand it better, to protect myself, and also to protect my heart. So, I don't jump into something that's going to scar me for life. Although, so far, it's been very heavy. And I still have strength, though. The Lord gives me strength, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, exactly. I mean, seeing these things. I mean, just like when I research these things, sometimes my head is so heavy that for a day or two I don't think about it. Just to come back to normal. Do you do this all the time, or do you ever take breaks?
I do take breaks. I do like a video every 2 or 3 days now. I used to do a video every single day.
Yeah.
I would cry a lot. I had to really step back from it. What I do now is I'll put a video out, and for like 2 days, I'll engage with my subscribers and talk it out. I'll get more leads, and then the next day I'll do a ton of research and put out a video. So I'm kind of lightly engaging with my subscribers. I'm living my life. I do have a job. I own a company. I'm creative. I do other things. I'm trying to live my life too. But after doing this kind of research, it's hard to live your life and be in it. You're constantly thinking about the abuse. And for me, every time I watch a show or a movie or I see something, that those images that I've already seen and those news stories about these kids being abused and put in cages, that's always right on the front of my mind. So, it is a hard road to walk, but honestly, I would die for a child if I had the chance to rescue them in these kinds of situations. And I would rather have done the best I could to help kids than, worry about my quality of life.
One of my viewers is asking a question over here. Why aren't government agencies, police doing their jobs in this case?
I feel that a lot start rolling. If you've noticed, 15 to 2,000 people have been arrested over the last month for child sex trafficking, and a lot of them have been people that are in law enforcement and that are working in the government and that are working in the military. That makes them look really bad. So by covering up this stuff, they're doing two things. They're continuing the abuse of children, and they're not helping victims. And B, they're covering their own asses, so that, pardon my French, so they can keep up their integrity. Because if they really knew, if most of the public really knew how corrupt the police and the government are concerning this matter, there would be people in the streets with pitchforks tomorrow.
And with good reason too,
Absolutely.
Did you know we went down again for 30 seconds? We were offline again. Did you know that? It's just like does this happen? I wonder if this is done on purpose.
I do have issues once in a while with connection, so.
Yeah, usually I don't have, only when I do shows, and sometimes when I do shows about aliens and the Dulce base and secret alien labs, military labs, this starts happening, or stuff like this, But tonight it's twice. It's very rare, very weird, What do you think of Alex Jones' sudden change on view on Pizzagate, that he apologized to James Alefantis?
Okay, I'm very upset about it. I know that there are many reasons he could have done it. He could have been pressured by the network. He could have been pressured by lawyers. He could have been pressured by the Illuminati. I mean, I don't know. He genuinely could believe that James Alefantis is innocent based on his research. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why Alex Jones did what he did, but I'll tell you, he really affected a lot of people, and he lost a lot of subscribers because he's a very outspoken guy, and he calls Hillary the whore of Babylon. He calls Obama, the Antichrist and evil, and he accuses both of them of torturing children. So why this pizza guy, this pizza owner, you know what I mean? Why he has to retract this, I believe, is good research into a phenomenon of Pizzagate at Comet Ping Pong. I'm blown away that he retracted the research that was done, and I feel whole thing with Craig Sawyer is sort of him trying to redeem himself. The Vets for Children Rescue. Have you seen that?
Yes, I did, and I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, neither do I.
I'm blown away. I'm blown away by it. You know, I mean, I heard because he was told he was threatened. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, just like overnight, he decides to attack Pedogate as a whole, and I understand that. I mean, in the beginning, I didn't really do Pizzagate research. I always did Pedogate as a whole because there's a lot of information there and a lot of documentation. So I kind of stuck with that so I could back up my work. You know what I mean? Back up my digging. But now he's with Craig Sawyer, promoting Craig Sawyer, who is he's not a new guy. This guy's been around for years. He's an ex-military elite Marine, Navy SEAL. He's been on TV. He's had like 11 or 12 television appearances on shows about, you know, guns and military. And he's been in 2 movies. He's been in 2 kid movies as well. So he's got an IMDb profile. He's been out there. He knows a lot of people. He's very connected. And now he's just overnight doing this pedophile roundup. He wants to do a television show. And right there, you know, I am anti-television. I watch a movie or a show to really get information about the propaganda that's coming out. You know what I mean? So this guy wanting to do a TV show about this pedophile stuff, it makes me a little curious. It makes me a little cautious. I'm keeping my distance from it. If people want to donate to his GoFundMe because they want to feel like they're doing something, I give you my blessing. Please do something. But personally, I'm still going to kind of keep it on the back burner and watch and observe on what's going on with this because it sounds too good to be true. And if TV's involved, it's always going to be spun the way they want it to be spun. You know what I mean?
It depends. Also, I've seen the video where he wants to do a TV show about it. But what network would it be on? Because all mainstream media is controlled.
I would assume he would probably be on, they have those other like the Conspiracy Channel. They have even on InfoWars. He might even have his show be a part of InfoWars. I'm really not sure. I mean, I can't see him putting it on, the Discovery Channel or, you know what I mean? I don't see that really happening when they don't even air documentaries that are relevant to what's going on. So I don't know.
What are your views on the Dr. Phil show? Was this all a psyop or was it true?
I can go both ways with that.
Go ahead.
I feel, like I said before, they are trying to spin this sex trafficking in a way that makes people accept that it's a reality. And I think that's the first step. It's like problem, reaction, solution. So this woman, it just felt a little off to me. I think if someone was that terrified to not be sent back to her owner, that she would not come on a show and show her face and speak. But I feel if I was that afraid, I would want to be silhouetted with my voice altered.
But apparently she was wearing wigs and teeth and different teeth and glasses.
I didn't know that.
That's what people have said. I don't know. Don't take my word for it, but that's what it's been suggested, that it's hair. The hair doesn't match the complexion or anything. But if this is true, it's like I hope that he didn't fake all of this. I mean, this woman looked terrified. Like
she did, and you can't fake her voice. That monotone voice was very like I don't think if you were that person's owner and you heard her talk, you would know it was her, right?
Right.
I don't know. It was very monotone, and I know that's kind of like a symptom of abuse, just like a disassociation. I think it's good on the level of people understanding that this is a reality and it's actually happening. Even still, if that's what it was, if it wasn't real, and Dr. Phil had this show to raise awareness, I'm cool with that. I really am. Like, you know what I mean? I can't find that woman. I'm not going to try to find out who she is. She wants to be free of this abuse. Hopefully he's helping her like he promised. You know, that's like the first mainstream, you know, thing about, you know, being locked in a cage as a child and being passed around sexually to elite people that I've seen. Do you know what I mean? So it was kind of impressive on that level.
I mean, the way it was done, I mean, but this woman, I mean, how could she even speak? I mean, she was born in it, and she was always locked up in cages. How did she do to be able to make conversations? Like, wouldn't she be like more or less retarded?
Yeah, because she didn't have any,
Love.
I guess, formal schooling.
And no love, like real, like love from loving parents.
Yeah, I mean, her parents that she spoke to at some point in her life as well, which is very interesting. That the parents were so involved in this whole situation, they literally gave her up to be this sex trafficked child.
Well, I heard that she was created for this.
Yeah, like she was created and bred to be a child sex slave.
Yeah, exactly. So when I saw that show, my heart was bleeding. It's like, and she did not name the person. Why would she not name it? I mean, you know, say that this is the person that's after me. Is she too afraid? Like, does she have any protection right now?
You're cutting out a little bit. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Doesn't this lady? She didn't even mention the name of her handler. Doesn't she have any protection, like from the police or anybody? Is that why the name wasn't said who it was?
Right. So are you asking, because you cut out a little bit, are you asking if she has protection from her handler?
Yeah, that, or she doesn't, and because she didn't name the name of the handler.
Right. Well, she did admit that she would go back to him and she felt lost without him, which was very disturbing to hear that, because that's all she's ever known, you know? And this handler, he seems like a pretty big deal if he's able to afford to travel all over the country and all over the world and transport children and dress them up and teach them how to speak and be regal, you know, how to drink from a glass appropriately in these elite circles. There's a lot of money and training, and I'm sure personnel that goes into that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm surprised that she didn't name the name, but it'd be pretty interesting to see who this was. You know, I wonder if it's a name that we know, or it's a name that nobody would really recognize except people in the business. But it seems like a big deal. Maybe one day it'll be revealed who it was.
You know, I believe in my heart that all will be revealed at some point, and I can't wait for that moment.
Are you familiar with the work of David Icke?
Yes, I am.
Okay, because I had bought his book, The Perception of Deception, and there's a whole section on pedophilia from the United Kingdom back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and can you tell us a bit what you know about this?
Yeah, sure. I believe David Icke was kind of exploring the PI, I think it was the pedophile information exchange. I think he talked a lot about the queen being like a satanic lizard person who kind of thrives on negative energy and thrives on fear. So they would do these, you know, sick, twisted rituals to gain power and whatnot. David Icke, I started listening to him early on, and I haven't really followed him. I think I just kind of went my own way. You know, he has a lot of cool stuff to say. I just don't know if I subscribe to a lot of it.
Okay, like maybe not all of it, you know, some of it.
Yeah.
Now let's talk a bit about like child trafficking itself. Like millions of, like, I don't know, hundreds of children always go missing. So is it what happens? They take them, and these parents they never see their kids again. Like what happens? They grab them, they go to a different country, and then they go to their new owners, and they're kept in cages. I know. How does this all work?
Sure. Well, the more the basic child trafficking, which is documented and right out there. It's from children that are homeless and foster care, are victims of a natural catastrophe where the parents are gone, homes are gone, there's poverty. It's usually, that's the way that pedophiles and corruption works. They prey on the weak and the lame. So it's very easy to traffic kids that don't have parents, that have been traumatized by some sort of natural disaster, just like in Haiti. Okay, we had this huge natural disaster in Haiti. Lots of families and children were separated or perished. And then you have a boatload of foster kids who are crammed into these really low-funded foster, I wouldn't even call them foster homes. They're like, you know, they put them in hotel rooms, like by 20 and 30 kids in one place. And what happened, this is a perfect example, Laura Silsby, who now works for Alert Sense under Laura Gaylor, her married name, she went into Haiti. She took 31 children from the Haitian orphanage. She moved them over to the Dominican Republic, where she was stopped and arrested for trafficking children. The goal was to bring them to the United States. We don't know why, but I can tell you, when you follow the money and the power, Laura Silsby was pardoned in part by the Clinton Association. And you have to wonder, we're finding all this stuff with John Podesta and all this stuff. What a perfect way to get children. You've got children that don't have any guardians looking over them. They are traumatized and weak. They can't speak for themselves. They're from another country. They don't know the language. You come off as a person that's trying to help them from America. How easy is it to kidnap them? It's very easy. So it's not always like this secretive plan where people are snatching a child out of their bedroom. Do you know what I mean? That happens, but on a larger scale, the trafficking is happening in Africa, in Haiti, in China. Do you know what I mean?
Because sometimes you have missing children Amber Alerts and the children are never found. So it could be that it's child trafficking, or it could just be it's just something else, the way I see it.
Absolutely. And it's funny, I just read this statistic and they were trying to say the mortality of children has actually risen, so that the death rate of children has dropped dramatically. And I made a comment saying, well, that's because 10 to 20 million children in the whole world are missing. So they don't have the classification of death. They're just simply missing. We don't know what happens to these kids. Sometimes they get found. And I'll tell you, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children does not have a great track record. They brag about the 8,000 children that they've recovered over the last decade, which, if you think about how many reports they get a year, they get over 2 million reports a year of abuse and kidnapped children. 8,000 is a drop in the bucket. That's nothing. So there is a lot more kidnapping and abuse of children going on than there actually is of helping and saving kids.
This illegal porn, is it on the surface web or on the deep web? Because I've never come across it and I don't want to.
The disturbing thing is it's creeping into the surface web. I find porn on Twitter. I find child porn, okay, on Facebook, on that website I was dealing with before, on VidMe, on Amazon. You can find it.
Amazon. I buy my books there, my research books.
Yeah. Pretty much anywhere where there is an open source of information, when you upload or download or whatever, or you're able to put information in as a subscriber, you're going to find child porn. The issue that we're seeing is that because of the amount of people that are on social media, these companies are having a hard time moderating their material, so they implement bots. But bots only can do so much investigating. People are finding a way around getting their stuff taken down. So, you're able to see more child porn accidentally now. That's the fear I have, is that kids are able to find it if they want it. It's very dangerous. The deep web, I think, is probably more sadistic, torture, really, really bad stuff. But the surface web is pictures of, naked young girls and young boys, ways to find images and things like that to get to the dark web, to get more. It's like a gateway. The surface level is a gateway at this point.
It's just horrible. I mean, all of this stuff, because I heard Microsoft has Microsoft and Google, they're trying to like get these images off. They mark each images, and they have like some kind of type of fingerprint, or not a fingerprint, but some kind of print that they're able to remove it and get it off the surface web.
Yeah, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is implementing something called a hash, where images are able to be, it's almost like the photo technology where, you go on Facebook and you upload a picture, it like knows who it is already before you even have to tag it. They're using that kind of technology to find repeat reports, like if you upload an image of child pornography, it's on the internet now. So it could be shared in a million different places in a different context all over the world. So they use this hash technology to kind of figure out the high priority cases. They have cases that they're working on, and then they're finding new ones every day. Google and Microsoft and Facebook and Twitter and all those guys, they're working closely, supposedly, with the Center for Missing and Exploited Children in the United States and the international sector of that as well. The thing is, I have a problem with how that's working, because you have corporations dealing with government-funded agencies. And I feel that that is a huge conflict of interest, in the sense of now I don't have a say. This is why I was blocked by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children on Twitter, because I had something to say about what they're doing and how they're doing it. And my tax dollars go to that company. I pay with my tax money their wages. So I have an absolute right to have an opinion about how things are run over there, and I shouldn't be censored because of it. Now you have Google and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, they're jumping on the bandwagon. They're censoring any talk about this pedogate and Pizzagate phenomenon. This is the corruption that I'm starting to see between all of them. So I think if you're in power, you have something to do with this. I don't think you can get into power without being vetted into that sort of, child trafficking, child abuse, whatever it is.
It seems like it's some kind of phenomenon, because then you've got like the street pedophiles and the uncles and the cousins or whatever, and then you've got the elites. So it seems like between the elites and these sick people, it's like you combine them together, it makes a big, like, I don't know, a big group of people that are into this sick stuff. And from what I understand is that the elites want to do this for power, because apparently if they kill the children or do this, they get the power from Satan. And I don't know. And then you have these pedophiles that love doing these things. So I don't know. Is there like a connection?
Yes, I feel that they believe that they will gain power, but the devil is a liar.
Right.
The devil wants you to believe that he doesn't exist. That's why these are crazy things that are going on here. It's absolutely related to Satan. I feel that the devil has promised them powers. Do I feel that they have magical powers by drinking child's blood? No, I think they don't. I think they want to believe that they do. I think that they use these things to make us feel fear and to make them seem above us, like a godhead, like they are gods because they have control and absolute power. I don't believe they gain any sort of special. I mean, gosh, look at look how bad Hillary Clinton looks. Look how bad George Soros looks. You know what I mean? We just lost one of the Rockefellers,
David Rockefeller.
Rothschild, excuse me. They don't live forever. They don't have special powers. They look like crap. They're all dying. They're using kids for organ harvesting. Do you know what I mean? Blood
Yes.
transfusions. Did you even see that? There's an article out in Science Today about using young people's blood to transfuse into people to make them healthier
And live longer.
and live longer.
Yes. Yeah. It's just mind blowing. Hollywood. Let's touch a bit on Hollywood. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of pedo stuff going there. It's probably full of it. What are your views on this?
I feel that pedophilia has been rampant in Hollywood since the beginning of Hollywood, even starting with Disney. Hollywood, they are in charge of how we think about the world. They are the ones that put out the agenda and how we're supposed to think, what our personality should be like, what we should expect, you know, what's normal. If you have pedophiles in charge of that sort of programming, of course, you're going to have over-sexualization of children. You're going to have violence and sick, disgusting, you know, satanic stuff laced through their work. I mean, even in the nicest, loveliest movie, the family-friendly movie, they're starting to use sexual stuff in them. Like, those jokes are for the adults when they go to the show. You know what I mean? You go to a cartoon show and they're making sex jokes and showing their rear ends and slapping each other's butts. And, you know, then there's the gay and lesbian. It's out there because it's normal in our culture and it's accepted now. So they're introducing that into the children's programming. I don't know how I feel about the pedophilia jumping on the bandwagon with the gay and lesbian community, because then they're going to start interjecting that into child programming, the pedophilia. You know, like I said, I am not discriminatory towards the LGBT community. My closest friends are gay and lesbian people, and I love them dearly. I am fearful that the pedophile community is jumping into this place where they can now infiltrate Hollywood. They can infiltrate our programming. And, you know, it's scary to me.
So, like we said before, so like politicians and rock stars and movie stars and maybe even sports stars, in order to get big, they have to do this sort of stuff like this pedophilia. And then I heard that in their film, and then they're blackmailed if they get out of line.
Yeah, I was mentioning that earlier. It's absolute believe that it's a vetting process where they're testing your loyalty and then they have something on you. But I think something changes when you decide to overpower a child, maybe a drug to them, whereas you have complete control and you know what I mean? You are overpowering someone that is weaker than you. And those kind of people that want to be in control, they want to be a superstar, they want to be, you know, in the government and have all of these, you know, controlling jobs. That kind of power over a child, I would assume, would be very enticing. Yes?
Yeah, I'm sure it would be. But so, do you think like these movie stars, these big names, which I won't mention names, current ones that we see in movies, blockbusters like this year or whenever, you think they're all involved, some, or maybe?
I don't know. What's yet to be seen. I haven't really delved into the Hollywood sex offender registry yet, and I promised my subscribers that I would. So I guess we'll have to have another interview, and we'll go over that next time.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think of President Donald Trump when he said, there's a video, he said he's going to look into it?
I absolutely think he knows everything that's going on. I think he knows what we're saying in our videos. I think he understands that there's a certain percentage of people that believe that pedophilia is a problem and that it needs to be combated. I think Pizzagate, I'm hoping someday that he will step up to the plate and actually do an investigation. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, it's hard enough for him to even mention that there were children in these arrests that happened over the last month, it was more human trafficking. We're dealing with human trafficking and not inserting that important word, which is child sex trafficking. That's not really talked about as much as I would like to hear it being talked about, because that's exactly what's happening. It's just not coming out into the main, forum about it.
Because people don't know that these children, they're in cages and everything. Could this happen just anywhere? Could this be just like the next street over?
Oh yeah,
really?
I believe, yes, of course. I mean, to be honest with you, I was just reading this news article. I'm not saying this is not someone that had anybody in a cage, but I live in New Hampshire, and a place close by to me had a man who was living in a house that was condemned. And inside the house, he had set up like a suicide thing where he had guns and ammo all around him. He put boards with nails on the outside of his house so people wouldn't come in. And then he shot himself around a cylinder of gasoline. So when he shot himself, the gasoline exploded and the whole house exploded. So there's crazy people everywhere. So to think that there's child abuse happening right down the street, I mean, if you just go to your sex offender registry, you're going to find child abusers and child pornography fiends right next door to you, right next to the school. As far as keeping kids in cages, I don't know. Child pornography, and then that next step to molesting a child and then raping a child, it's not far-fetched. It really isn't.
My gosh, yeah. So do you think Donald Trump could do anything about it?
I think, of course, any president could do anything about anything if they really want to. I would hate to think that he was, ignoring the fact that children are being raped and abused. But then again, if there is nothing done about it, I'm going to assume that he is a part of it, because I know for a fact that it's happening. So if my president doesn't do anything about it, then I'm going to assume that he's guilty as well.
Have you been harassed, attacked, or in any way from doing this sort of work?
Absolutely, yes. I have been attacked. Obviously, in my videos, people are always not a lot, thankfully, but I get attacked by my views on my comment sections.
Mm-hmm.
I did receive some really creepy emails from someone who found out who I was and knew some personal information about me and threatened to come here and hurt me. It doesn't make me afraid. People are going to have their own opinion about things. I'm not going to impress everybody. I'm not going to jive with everybody. The kind of research I do is an acquired taste. You know what I mean? I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, though. It's important to me, and it's important to those kids. Whether people like it or not, I'm not going to stop doing it.
Is there any other activists besides yourself doing this sort of work?
Yeah, really graceful.
Yes.
She's a YouTube personality. She's an amazing woman. She started doing makeup tutorials, and then she found out about Pizzagate, and then she completely went to help people in Pedogate. She does all of her research. She's a very intelligent, wonderful young lady. If you don't know who she is, please subscribe to her.
I do.
I do talk to Bad Guacamole. We met on VidMe. He really helped me understand how to create content, and I attribute a lot of my success to him with getting a good base of subscribers. I watch a lot of researchers. I watch a lot of Titus Frost. I watch a lot of the SGT report. I watch Watchmen of the Harvest. He is probably one of my favorite content creators. I recommend that you guys watch his videos. He does really long videos, but he puts together a lot of different creators' videos into like a movie kind of way, and it's really powerful stuff. He stays up on the real current events. So.
Okay, but I've heard that this CP stuff and child trafficking is the worst taboo. That's the biggest worst taboo. What are your thoughts on this? It's like nothing.
I think
besides.
it's definitely hard.
Go ahead.
It's definitely hard to keep videos up. It's definitely hard to like monetize a video. If you put the word pedogate or pizzagate on your video, it's automatically not monetized. I'm not really worried about that.
Right.
I'm not doing this to make money. I'm never going to be a rich person, nor do I want to be a rich person. I live very simply and very humbly. But they do make it hard for you to report on the topic. You know, like I said, I've had a couple of videos banned, mainly because I diverted a little bit from the path in my research. I went Pizzagate, and they took my videos down. So it's definitely, you know, I wouldn't say it's taboo. Please do research on Pedogate. Do research on Pizzagate. Don't be afraid to do research on it. Just know that Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, they don't like it. But doesn't that make you think that you should do it even more so?
Yeah, for sure. But is there a way you can tell our viewers and people that want to research this stuff the safe way of doing it? Because there's probably a safe way and a stupid way of doing it.
Sure. Well, you know, if you really want to be a part of it, jump on Twitter and follow me and just kind of follow the people that are interacting with me. I'm very open to talking to you guys. Like I said, I read every comment. I try to comment on every single, you know, message that I get. I really try hard to be open and to help people. I have at least 20 people that I exchange emails with every day, talking about leads and talking about discoveries. You just got to find somebody to connect with. And if you really want to start doing some of this research and tread lightly and kind of see how I do it, just hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on YouTube.
Okay, wow, this is amazing. Are you going to be continuing doing research into Pizzagate? Are you going to go back to aliens? Because I thought aliens was heavy, but this is beyond it. Unless I actually see aliens come down or wherever, then I think I'd be like, wow. But this seems to be like the heaviest.
Yeah, well, for me, the aliens, I used to think that they were from another planet and coming here, or then I thought that they might be interdimensional beings. Now that I'm very close with the Lord, I really feel that it might be a part of the Great Delusion. So if aliens do come down, in my mind, they're not nice, and they're most likely demonic.
Yeah, demonic, fallen angels, and evil spirits. And probably because David Icke's work says that that's why they do these things. These satanic do this to get the powers from the devil, which are it's aliens or whatever, you know what I mean? And these people are sadistic, half human and half reptilian. That's why they're able to do this torture and whatever.
Yeah, I think that they're possessed by evil spirits. But I don't think that they have magical powers, though. I think that they're able to do weird things. I think they can make people believe that they are psychic. I believe they can contort their bodies in weird ways. They have lots of power, you know, being in the government and running corporations and running the media. But as for the actual powers that they're promised, I believe that comes after the tribulation. I believe that comes after death, when they're not going to get any power from the devil. If you think that serving Satan is going to do something good for you, you have to understand who Satan is. He's a liar, and he uses people, and he's evil. So if you're working for him, you're not going to turn out very well. He's not going to do anything for you. He's just using people to bring in this. I believe this alien delusion. I feel that these people are working in science. You know what I mean? You probably looked all into this and how they're creating, you know, cyborgs, and they're creating different animals with different DNA. They're putting DNA of animals into people. I mean, we're not going to be human that much longer if we let this stuff keep taking place. So for them to create some strange creature that looks like an alien that could be mechanically operated or possessed by another spirit, of course they would use that. Again, a tactic of fear, but also hopefully we'll see the coming of Jesus Christ again to kind of lay it all straight out there. But if an alien comes down here, I would suggest you stay away from it.
Oh, definitely, yeah, because I was all into it now. But now with this Pizzagate, are you going to continue doing this Pizzagate, or what are your future plans before we end the show?
Yeah, right now I'm in it. You know what I mean? We're just getting close to really connecting it to people that are high up. I feel I'm not quite done yet with this. Like I said, my background is demonology and you know, satanic stuff. So I will continue always covering that stuff, and I'm very interested in the Great Delusion and the whole alien concept and transhumanism. It's extremely fascinating to me. So I will be touching in on that stuff. Before
I let you go, because right now I'm researching a lot on MK Ultra, and there's a connection between MK Ultra and this pedophilia. I guess to Kathy O'Brien, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, I believe it's the same thing as, you know, how pedophiles manipulate children into trusting them. And then when the abuse continues, they fracture the child's mind, so they can continue on having a normal life on the outside and never talk about their abuse because they're so far dissociated from it. So they have like two personalities, where there's the abused person, and then when they're not being abused, they're just living their normal life. They don't realize that they're that other person as well. So they like fracture them, they say. And then because the mind is so broken, they fracture 3, 4, 5, 6 different personalities. And it's almost like you can't come back from that kind of abuse, you know?
It's very, very sad. So in closing, would you like to tell us where we can find you and where we could hit you up? And if you have a website or whatever you want to say.
Sure. So if you want to hit me up on YouTube, that's probably the best place to grab me if you want to catch up on my videos. It's www.youtube.com/C/The Honeybee. And you can also find me on Twitter as well. So that's /The Honeybee. And you can, I think it's underscore at the end of that. Yeah. Find me there. If you go to my YouTube, I have all of my other pages linked there. I have a Facebook page. I have a Patreon account. If you want to donate, I mean, everything's on YouTube. So your probably best bet is to start there.
Okay, because I didn't find you on Facebook. I'm gonna have to look into it.
Yeah, on YouTube, I have a link to it, so you can just find it there.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Honeybee, for coming on the show. I mean, it's been, well, very, I would not say entertaining because it hasn't, but it's been very informative because this is a very, very hard topic for me to do, you know, so.
Absolutely. I appreciate you letting me come on and talk about it. It was a very, very wonderful experience, and I hope to talk to you again soon, Robert.
Yes. Okay. So thank you, and thank you for coming on the show, and hopefully we'll have you back on soon enough.
You got it, my friend. Take care and be well.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
My head is hurting.
Same.
I don't know if it's my head or my heart from all this information. I'm just drained. What about you?
Same here, Robert.
A lot of information. Go ahead.
It was too much, you know, too much. I'm glad we did it.
Exactly. Now you know when I'm doing this deep research how I feel like. So I hope our viewers did enjoy the show, the information being put out, and the efforts of the Honeybee in ending this satanic network or exposing it at least, you know, because it's very sick, vile, and despicable, you know. And we'll be back next week with another MnRTV live show. Thank you guys for coming on the show. God bless you all.
Thank you for watching, because without you, everybody, we wouldn't have a show, because you guys are what's making us do a show, because you're watching. Thank you very much. You people are the greatest. Don't forget to share, like this video, and comment and do your thing. Let's get the word out. Let's stop these criminals from doing their dirty deeds. All right. Thank you very much. You people are the greatest. Have a good night. Bye.